Got lots to do. I just got back from Mexico. I was doing some work down there, so I've got a new show to do, and it's gonna be fun. It's, when you hit a point, it's neat too, because it's, in my particular point right now, it's like I'm hitting a point where I've come pretty far so far, like just in a little stretch of stuff, and now it's sort of time, I'm feeling it sort of
Relax?
yeah, well, relax
burst or transform?
more, yeah, transformation maybe is a better word. So like feeling like an extra push forward into something grand and new. Because it's, it's just, otherwise we're just walking in one place, right? So you have to take that next. It's true.
Nice.
That's the next step. So I'm excited for whatever is going to blossom. But some things, it's neat. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful part of the world, especially. There's a lot of homogenization in the rest of the world when it comes to characters and when it comes to the masses and how we all move together. So it's neat when there's pockets of cities that support and are kind of a blossoming individuality and character that we kind of come together and work. It's just something that I've found in Vancouver deeply. It's really beautiful, like you're being part of that, or a Rio, or anybody that you meet with a particular flavor, and it's neat. We've built at least a structure that isn't corrupted so deeply that we're able to expand and create with each other in somewhat of a sense of total peace and freedom, which is pretty rare and it's exceptionally beautiful. So it's a nice place to be at the moment. It's good for peace forums. It's good for anything really, but it's gorgeous. It's good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw Mark last night. So we're sort of he hired me to do this because he liked what I did for other things. So it's beautiful that he asked me to help with something that was really kind of it was about kids, and it's about trying to have a voice, have a vision and a voice, and be real about it, and serious as well, maturity. And so it's a beautiful vision, and Mark himself was giving up what he was going to do to try to make this work, and then put all his time and with his partner into it, and it's just a huge undertaking trying to make festivals. I mean, the organization and the funding itself is just such a pain in the butt. So, but they got everything together, and they're really, really on it, and beautiful people. So it was worth totally doing. So yeah, I'm doing some more stuff for them soon too. Probably looks like I'll probably be doing. He'd like to sort of brand the festival with my art for the advertisements and the marketing. So I'm going to try to do that as best as I can. So it's good. It's a cool gig. This is it was trippy. You brought this to me last night. It was nice. It's a DVD. This is the selections from the show, from the festival. So I wouldn't mind seeing it, as I wasn't around. It's cute though, no? It's a nice poster. Is 2012 the destruction of all things, or what date is that exactly?
I'm glad you asked that, Jordan.
The borders thing.
Boundaries? Boundaries and limits.
Boundaries, borders. Maybe borders is the wrong word, but it's. I do think the notion of boundaries is one that doesn't necessarily come into your repertoire.
Well, no. It's in my repertoire all the time because I've been so ignorant of boundaries and limits, and I haven't understood the concept in many ways, and I've had all these experiences with everyone that I know. And boundaries or limits, is the essence of it. And I think it's the essence of human relationship. Because what is a boundary? What is a limit? And what's the difference in this space? What goes on in here, right, with you and us or anyone? And how do we communicate around that? And that to me has been my biggest learning. Because for whatever reason you teach what you learn what you teach or something. I just find in society the whole concept of boundaries and limits is something that is the core of the transition of paradigms. If we can really understand the value differences between each culture and how that creates different values and limits for each sort of perception.
Should have that on yourself.
I just see your reaction. Huh?
Sort of in the manner in which you do so. We live in a very, we've had a social and developed construct so we can all get along, somewhat. as things are going. And that's changing, I think, as a whole, as we change individually. So, even the very act of your your character is part of that change. So the individual does matter deeply because that's part of the whole. That is the whole. Like, so as you change within individually, you know, and find your own sort of your own flavor and focus in this metaphysical experiment, you know, like called reality, you help change the greater whole because everything around you changes and then everything around everyone else changes. I mean, it's a really beautiful and incredible sort of expanding puzzle of beauty that is something that we can't see just with our minds. We have to feel with our inner voice, inner world, and it's a very exciting thing to exist. It's becoming very apparent that the work that we do just on a daily basis is so precious and beautiful. Despite, you know, like, because I know we have these external, everything has to be external for its importance, but not necessarily. You know, like, it's not all Laurence Olivier, or like, you know, it's not all theater. Some things are just from within yourself. Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun.
The coffee maker.
The symbology of the coffee.
The beginning of the morning. The beginning of ideas. The ravishing continuation of caffeine highs. It is caffeine. Dun, 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 dun.